With regards to the history, Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen produced and detected X-rays known as the Röntgen rays. With regards to the history, this picture would show the application of X-ray in the early 1900s. With regards to the history, to continue with the history, Henry Becquerel discovered radioactivity that can be used in medicine. He actually discovered uranium salts. Henry made this discovery when he left a piece of radium in his vest pocket and noticed that he had been burned by it. His discovery led to the development of radiotherapy, which is now used to treat cancer. With regards to the history, this is a picture that shows effects of exposure to radioactivity. With regards to the history, next is Marie Curie. Discovered the first radioactive elements, polonium, named after Poland, and radium. Unluckily, Marie died because of aplastic anemia from exposure to radiation. With regards to the history, Curie's personal effects, including her clothes, furniture, cookbooks, and laboratory notes, are still radioactive. Curie's laboratory notebooks are stored in lead-lined boxes in Paris. With regards to the history, next is Ernest Rutherford. He discovered the concept of half-life and also discovered radon, differentiated and named the alpha and the beta radiation as well. With regards to the history, radiation is defined as the emission of energy as electromagnetic waves or as moving subatomic particles, especially high-energy particles which cause ionization. With regards to the history, ionizing radiation has enough energy to free electrons from the atoms or molecules they are attached to and therefore ionizing them. The process in which an electron is given enough energy to break away from an atom is called ionization. This process results in the formation of two charged particles or ions, the molecule with a net positive charge and the free electron with a negative charge. Ionizing radiation is the energy produced from natural or artificial sources. It has more energy than non-ionizing radiation, enough to cause chemical changes by breaking chemical bonds. This effect can cause damage to living tissues. With regards to the history, Otto Hahn pioneered in radioactivity and radiochemistry. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1944 for the discovery and the radiochemical proof of nuclear fission. With regards to the history, the world's first nuclear weapons explosion on July 16, 1945 in New Mexico happened when the United States tested its first nuclear bomb. With regards to the history, 3 days later, the US launched another mission to bomb Kokura. However, the city was obscured by clouds. The city of Nagasaki in Japan was chosen as a target instead. With regards to the history, there are a lot of applications of radioactivity. Examples are electricity is produced by nuclear fission. Another, irradiation of food is done so that it would take longer time for food to spoil. Next, ultraviolet light is a form of radiation that is used in disinfecting water. With regards to the history, Radioactivity would also have applications, for instance, in agriculture. Seeds exposed to radiation bring about new and better types of plants. Radiography is also applied in engineering industries. With regards to the history, archaeologists also use radioactive substances to determine the ages of fossils and other objects through a process known as the carbon dating. It has also a wide application in medicine, such as nuclear medicine. With regards to the history, nuclear medicine techniques use a carrier molecule selected to target the organ or tissue of interest tagged with radioisotopes, which is emitting gamma rays. So what is the difference between X-ray and nuclear medicine? X-ray or CT image is formed from ionizing radiation that passes through the body but does not arise from the body. For us, nuclear medicine image is formed from ionizing radiation emitted from within the body. With regards to the history, the radioactive materials administered to patients are known as radiopharmaceuticals. These radiopharmaceuticals are also known as the radio tracers. With regards to the history, kindly study this slide that would list the radioisotopes and its corresponding area of the body that can be studied. With regards to the history, radiopharmaceuticals should emit gamma radiation only. It should also emit gamma rays with right energy to allow detection by a gamma camera. It should also have a short half-life. So there are several routes of administration of these radiopharmaceuticals, such as through intravenous and subcutaneous injection. It could be also administered through inhalation as well as ingestion. With regards to the history, gamma camera is an electronic device used in medical diagnosis for imaging and distribution of radioactive compounds in the tissues. With regards to the history, this is the picture of a gamma camera. With regards to the history, the gamma camera also has several parts. These are the collimators, scintillators, and photomultiplier tube. With regards to the history, collimator is a part of gamma camera that maintains the quality of an image. This is also made up of lead that serves as a filter. With regards to the history, next is the scintillator that converts the gamma rays to photons of visible light, wherein the amount of light is proportional to the deposited energy. With regards to the history, lastly is the photomultiplier tube that converts light to electrical signals. This would also reveal a bigger electrons produced by the cathode. With regards to the history, let us now compare SPECT from PET, which are the nuclear medicine imaging techniques. With regards to the history, single photon emission computerized tomography, or SPECT, is a type of nuclear imaging test, which means it uses a radioactive substance and a special camera to create 3D pictures. With regards to the history, next is the positron emission tomography, or PET. PET is unsurpassed as a definitive diagnostic tool because it can help the physician detect diseases such as cancer and Alzheimer's. It could also determine appropriate treatment for the disease and efficiently track the body's responses to treatment. It was developed in the mid-1970s and it was the first scanning method to give functional information about the brain. With regards to the history, so this is the picture of the gamma camera used in SPECT. With regards to the history, this is the picture of the PET scanner. With regards to the history, this slide would give us the difference between PET and SPECT. With regards to the history, nuclear imaging has a variety of applications in medicine. With regards to the history, the nuclear medicine team consists of radiologists, pharmacists, physicists, and medical technologists. With regards to the history, kindly take note of the different responsibilities of the nuclear medicine team in the Philippines. With regards to the history, the one who administers radiopharmaceuticals and performs imaging procedures would be the nuclear medicine technologist.